In the great untamed canvases of our world, there exists a delicate and, well, often brutal balance. Here, life and death are partners in a dance as old as time itself. The wind whispers secrets across vast, sun-scorched plains, carrying the scent of dust and distant rain. It rustles through the leaves of ancient trees that have stood silent witness to countless generations. The air is thick with the hum of unseen insects, a constant, living pulse. This is a realm governed not by laws written in books, but by an intricate, unwritten code of survival. It is a world of breathtaking beauty and, honestly, profound, unforgiving reality. Every creature, from the smallest beetle to the most formidable hunter, plays its part. The landscape itself seems to hold its breath, a silent observer to the dramas that unfold upon its stage. The sun beats down, casting long, stark shadows that stretch and retreat with the passing hours, marking the rhythm of the day. A distant mountain range, hazy and purple, stands sentinel on the horizon, its peaks touching the clouds. Water, the very essence of life, carves its patient path through rock and soil, creating ribbons of green in an otherwise parched land. Here, existence is a constant negotiation with the elements. Within this grand theatre, the roles of hunter and hunted are clearly defined, or so it seems. The powerful stalk the weak, the swift pursue the slow. It is a story we think we know well, a narrative of strength and dominance. We see the predator as the ultimate master of its domain, an invincible force of nature. Its eyes are sharp, its muscles coiled, its every instinct honed for the kill. But the wild is full of surprises. It is a place where even the most established hierarchies can be shattered in a heartbeat, where the rules are subject to sudden and violent revision. But look closer, listen deeper. Beyond the obvious drama, there are subtler tectonics at play. The quiet moments before a storm, the ripple on a placid water surface, the sudden silence in a chattering forest, these are the telltales of a deeper truth. The food chain is not a simple one-way street. It is a complex web, and sometimes a strand can snap. Sometimes the hunter, in its moment of supreme confidence, can find itself facing a threat it never anticipated. It is in these rare, astonishing moments that the true mysterious nature of the wild is revealed. Along the languid, muddy banks of a tropical river, a silent monarch holds court, the Nile crocodile. He is a relic from a bygone age, a creature of immense power and patience. For hours he lies motionless, only his eyes and nostrils breaking the water's glassy surface. He appears as little more than a floating log, a piece of harmless river debris, but beneath the water, a body of immense strength waits, armored in thick, knobbly scales. This is a predator at the absolute zenith of its power, the undisputed king of this aquatic kingdom. His reign has been long and unchallenged. He has seen many seasons come and go. The river has risen with floods and fallen in droughts, but he has remained. His size alone is a testament to his success, a living monument to countless successful hunts. Wildebeest, zebra, even the formidable Cape buffalo have fallen victim to his devastating ambush. A sudden, explosive lurch from the water's edge, a grip of unimaginable force, and the struggle is over almost before it begins. His power is absolute, his technique perfected over millions of years of evolution. He fears nothing, for in this world of water and reeds, he is the ultimate authority. The air is heavy and humid, thick with the smell of wet earth and decaying vegetation. The drone of cicadas is a constant, almost deafening hum, the soundtrack to the slow, unhurried pace of life along the river. Fish eagles cry from high in the canopy, their calls echoing across the water. The crocodile pays them no mind. His focus is singular, his patience infinite. He is waiting for the great herds driven by thirst to approach the water's edge. It is a timeless ritual, a predictable bounty that has sustained him and his ancestors for millennia. As the sun climbs higher, the heat becomes a palpable force, shimmering above the water's surface. The world seems to slow, caught in the grip of the midday heat. The crocodile remains a statue of reptilian stillness. He is not just a part of this landscape, he is its living embodiment. He is the ancient, patient, and lethal spirit of the river. His confidence is absolute, born from a lifetime of dominance. He knows his strength. He knows his territory. He believes with every fiber of his primeval being that he is invincible. But the river holds more than one secret. As the crocodile maintains his vigil, another presence makes itself known, not with a roar or a charge, but with a subtle shift in the currents. Downstream, where the water pools and deepens, a different kind of power resides. A family of hippopotamuses. They appear placid, almost gentle, as they wallow in the cool mud, snorting and blowing water from their nostrils. Their bulk is immense, their skin a patchwork of grey and pink. To a casual observer, they are simply large, lazy herbivores, content to pass the day in communal bliss. This perception, however, is a dangerous illusion. The hippopotamus is, in fact, one of the most aggressive and unpredictable animals in all of Africa. The large male, the bull, is fiercely territorial. This stretch of the river is his, and he defends it with a ferocity that belies his seemingly calm demeanor. His enormous mouth, which can open to an astonishing degree, is armed with huge, tusk-like canines and incisors. These are not for eating plants. They are weapons, sharp and deadly, capable of inflicting catastrophic injuries. He is a guardian, a brawler, and a king in his own right. The crocodile, in his patient wait for a thirsty antelope, has drifted closer to the hippopod's territory than he perhaps realizes. The scent of the great reptile, an ancient enemy, carries on the slow-moving water. The bull hippo lifts his massive head, his small ears twitching. His eyes, set high on his skull, fix upon the floating form of the predator. A low, rumbling groan emanates from his massive chest, a sound that is less a vocalization and more a vibration, a warning that travels through the water itself. The atmosphere begins to change, the lazy peace of the afternoon slowly dissolving. The other hippos in the pod respond to the bull's agitation. They begin to move, their immense bodies creating waves and eddies in the previously still water. They gather closer to the young calves, forming a protective, living fortress. The air is now charged with a new tension. The crocodile, so accustomed to being the source of all fear, is now the object of intense, hostile scrutiny. He has trespassed, he has broken an unwritten law of the river, and now the rightful owner of this domain is stirring, its legendary temper beginning to flare. The stage is set for a confrontation of titans. The River King is slow to recognize the shifting tide of power. For him, the world is divided into two simple categories: food and things that are not food. The hippos, in his long experience, have always been the latter, large, noisy neighbors to be avoided but not feared. He continues his slow, almost imperceptible drift, his ancient mind still focused on the possibility of a meal from the shore. He misreads the bull hippo's deep guttural warnings as the usual background noise of the river. It is a critical and potentially fatal miscalculation. The predator's supreme confidence has become a blindfold. The bull hippo, however, is not making noise for the sake of it. His warnings have become more frequent, more aggressive. He rises higher in the water, displaying the full breadth of his colossal head and shoulders. He unleashes a series of loud, honking grunts, a clear declaration of his rising anger. He then performs a yawn, opening his mouth to its full, terrifying 150-degree arc. This is no sign of tiredness. It is a direct, unambiguous threat display, a showcase of the formidable weapons he wields. The long, curved tusks glint in the harsh sunlight. The crocodile finally seems to register that something is amiss. The sheer volume and aggression of the display are impossible to ignore. He stops his drift and turns his head slowly, his cold reptilian eyes fixing on the enraged bull. For the first time today, the crocodile is not the one dictating the course of events. He has become the focus of an unwanted and escalating aggression. The element of surprise, his greatest weapon, has been turned against him. He is exposed, caught in the open water, far from the safety of the tangled roots along the bank where he could more easily defend himself. The tension becomes a physical presence, a heavy blanket over the river. The cicadas seem to fall silent, the bird calls cease. All of nature appears to be holding its breath, waiting for the inevitable clash. The hippo bull makes his move. He submerges, disappearing beneath the brown water without a ripple. For a moment there is only silence. The crocodile, now visibly alert, twists in the water, trying to locate the source of the threat, but he is a creature of the surface. Below, in the murky depths, the bull hippo is moving, a living torpedo of muscle and rage closing the distance. The hunter is now the hunted. Far from the African river, in the dense, steamy jungles of Southeast Asia, another apex predator reigns supreme. The reticulated python. She is a giant, a constrictor of breathtaking size and power, her body a masterpiece of muscular engineering. Her scales, iridescent and intricately patterned, provide perfect camouflage amidst the dappled light and shadow of the forest floor. She moves with a silent, flowing grace, her long body gliding over roots and fallen leaves without a sound. She is the embodiment of stealth and patience, a hunter who can wait for days or even weeks for the perfect opportunity. Her world is one of scent. With every flick of her forked tongue, she tastes the air, gathering chemical information and building a three-dimensional map of her surroundings. She knows the scent of the wild pigs that forage for roots, the deer that step delicately through the undergrowth, and the monkeys that chatter in the canopy above. Her ambush is a study in economy and precision. A sudden, lightning-fast strike, a grip with rows of backward-curving teeth, and then the inevitable suffocating embrace of her coils. She does not need venom. Her strength is her weapon, and it is absolute. For a creature of such formidable power, she has few rivals. An adult reticulated python is the undisputed master of this domain, a silent queen in a kingdom of green. Today, she lies coiled near a game trail, her body looking like a pile of fallen leaves and dappled sunlight. She is a living trap, perfectly integrated into her environment. Her stillness is absolute, her patience a tangible force. She is waiting, her senses attuned to the slightest vibration, the faintest scent that signals the approach of a potential meal. The jungle hums with life around her, oblivious to the lethal presence in its midst. But this jungle, like all wild places, is full of complexities. Power is never absolute, and dominance is a temporary state. Even a queen can be challenged. As the python waits, the scent she detects is not that of a deer or a pig. It is something else. something powerful, regal, and equally at home in this dense, verdant world. It is a scent that signals not prey but a competitor, a rival monarch. The python's senses, honed for hunting, now signal a different kind of encounter, one that will test the limits of her own strength and status at the top of the food chain. High above the jungle canopy, a different kind of royalty surveys its kingdom. The Philippine eagle, a magnificent bird of prey, and honestly, one of the largest and most powerful eagles in the world. From its perch atop a towering emergent tree, it possesses a commanding view of the forest below. Its eyesight is extraordinary, capable of spotting the slightest movement in the dense undergrowth from hundreds of feet in the air. Its head is crowned with a shaggy, lion-like mane of feathers, giving it an air of fierce nobility. Its massive beak is a sharp, hooked weapon, and its talons are daggers of bone and keratin. This eagle is a master hunter of the forest canopy, specializing in prey that other predators simply cannot reach. It snatches monkeys from branches and flying lemurs from mid-air. Its flight is a breathtaking display of power and agility, weaving through the thick tangle of branches with impossible speed and precision. For the creatures of the canopy, its shadow passing overhead is a harbinger of doom. The eagle is a sky god, a ruler of the vertical world, its dominance as complete in the air as the python's is on the ground. It is a proud and solitary hunter. Today, however, the eagle's sharp eyes are not scanning the treetops. They're fixed on the forest floor below. It has spotted something. A subtle pattern that does not belong, a flicker of movement that betrays the python's otherwise perfect camouflage. The eagle has young in its nest, and its need to provide for them makes it bold, willing to take on risks that it might otherwise avoid. A python of this size is not its usual prey. It is a dangerous, formidable opponent, a creature that could easily turn the tables on an attacker, but the drive to feed its offspring is a powerful motivator. The eagle shifts on its perch, its powerful talons gripping the branch. It leans forward, its gaze locked onto the coiled serpent below. A deep, guttural cry echoes through the forest, a declaration of intent. The python down on the forest floor hears the cry. She uncoils slightly, her head rising to taste the air, trying to pinpoint the source of the sound. She is a creature of the earth, of shadows and secret places. The threat from above is an unfamiliar one. The eagle represents a different kind of power, one that operates on a vertical axis the python cannot comprehend. The Sky King is about to descend upon the Earth Queen. Back at the African river, the water explodes. The bull hippo erupts from the depths, his colossal mouth agape, right beside the crocodile. It is, well, an attack of shocking speed and violence. The sheer upward force of the hippo lifts the crocodile partially out of the water. The sound is a sickening crunch of pressure and snapping bone as the hippo's tusk-like incisors bite down on the reptile's midsection. The crocodile, the river's most feared predator, is caught completely by surprise, its armored hide offering little protection against the sheer crushing power of the hippo's jaws. The crocodile thrashes wildly, its powerful tail slapping against the water in a desperate, futile attempt to escape. But it is held fast. The hippo, in its rage, is relentless. It shakes the crocodile from side to side as a dog would a rat, the immense strain audibly breaking the reptile's spine. The roles have been utterly and brutally reversed. The patient hunter, the master of the ambush, has become the victim of an even more shocking and powerful assault. The other hippos in the pod call out, their grunts and groans creating a chaotic chorus that echoes the violence of the scene. The struggle is surprisingly brief. The crocodile's powerful jaws, so deadly in their offensive snap, are useless now. The hippo's bite has immobilized it, its internal injuries catastrophic. The hippo pushes the now limp body of the crocodile under the water, holding it down. Bubbles rise to the surface, marking the crocodile's last moments. The bull holds it there for a long time, ensuring the threat is completely neutralized. He is not hunting for food. This was not an act of predation. It was an execution, a territorial dispute settled with absolute and final prejudice. Eventually, the hippo releases its grip. The body of the once mighty river king floats lifelessly to the surface, a broken testament to the fact that no creature's dominance is guaranteed. The bull hippo lets out a final triumphant bellow, a declaration of his victory and the successful defense of his territory and family. He then turns and rejoins the pod, the violent energy slowly subsiding. The river, which moments before was a scene of churning chaos, slowly begins to calm. The other animals, which had fled the banks, cautiously begin to return. A profound and brutal lesson has been taught. In the jungle, the Philippine eagle makes its move. It launches from its high perch, folding its wings into a steep, controlled dive. It plummets through the layers of the canopy, a feathered missile aimed at the forest floor. The python, now fully alert, tracks the descending shape. She flattens her body, attempting to make herself a smaller target, her muscles tensed for a counterstrike. She is a powerhouse of constriction, and if she can get a single coil around the eagle, the battle will be hers. It is a contest between two entirely different forms of lethality, the crushing embrace versus the piercing talon. The eagle adjusts its trajectory at the last second, its incredible eyesight and reflexes allowing for microscopic corrections. It aims not for the massive body, but for the head. It strikes with devastating precision. Its talons, each one as sharp as a surgeon's scalpel, sink deep into the python's neck, just behind the skull. One talon pierces the snake's eye. The impact is staggering. The python writhes, its massive body coiling and uncoiling in a frenzy of agony and instinct. It thrashes with enough force to break bones, but it cannot reach its attacker. The eagle uses its powerful wings to beat against the ground, creating a storm of dust and leaves as it fights to maintain its position and avoid the python's deadly coils. It is a chaotic, desperate struggle. The snake's tail whips around, striking the eagle's body, but the bird's grip is locked. The talons have severed critical nerves and the python's coordinated movements begin to falter. The eagle screeches, a sound of furious effort, as it drives its talons deeper, using its own weight to pin the serpent's head to the ground. The queen of the forest floor is being systematically dismantled. Slowly, agonizingly, the python's struggles weaken. The immense muscular power begins to fade. The eagle, sensing victory, does not relent. It keeps its grip, its sharp beak now striking at the python's head, delivering quick, powerful blows. The battle, which was a flurry of violent motion, now slows to a grim conclusion. The great snake lies still. The eagle, breathing heavily, finally releases its grip and hops back, its piercing eyes still fixed on its vanquished foe. It has achieved the unthinkable. It has slain the giant, and in doing so has secured a vital meal for its young. The Sky King has conquered the Earth Queen. The river flows on. The body of the great crocodile, once the terror of these waters, is now just carrion. It will be consumed by scavengers, vultures, marabou storks, and smaller fish until nothing remains. The bull hippo watches over his pod, his dominance reaffirmed, his territory secure once more. Another crocodile, perhaps a son or a rival of the fallen king, will eventually rise to take his place. The balance has been violently reset, but the roles will be filled again. The eternal drama of the river will continue, with new actors playing the same ancient parts. In the jungle, the eagle labors to carry a section of the massive python back to its nest high in the canopy. The kill was a monumental risk, but the reward is equally great. For a time, its chicks will be well fed. The forest, which fell silent during the battle, slowly comes back to life. Monkeys begin to chatter again, insects resume their drone. The absence of the great python will be felt. The trails she patrolled will be safer for a while, but another snake or a different predator will eventually fill the void she has left. The intricate web of life is resilient, always adapting, always rebalancing. These moments, when the hunter becomes the hunted, are not aberrations. They are a fundamental part of the natural world's unwritten constitution. They serve as a stark reminder that power is fleeting and that survival is a complex dance of strength, opportunity, luck, and circumstance. The predator, at the peak of its power, is often at its most vulnerable, its confidence blinding it to dangers from unexpected quarters. A territorial instinct, a mother's drive to protect her young, or the simple desperation of hunger can inspire acts of incredible bravery and violence, upending the established order in an instant. And so, as we stand in awe before these wild landscapes, we see more than just a simple chain of command. We see a world of profound mystery and constant flux. We see that every creature, no matter how powerful, is ultimately just one part of a much larger, more complex story. The wind still whispers its secrets across the plains, the sun still casts its long shadows, and the great, enduring cycle of life and death continues its majestic, inexorable, and beautiful turn. It is a world where even kings must fall, ensuring that the kingdom of life itself endures.